A very warm welcome to all of you. I'm Tanishka Shrivastava.
I'm Annika.
And I'm Ishan. Today we have a guest speaker with us. Her name is Miss Archana Sharma, and she is a consultant, clinical and child psychologist at Action Balaji Medical Institute, New Delhi, with about 15 years of experience. She works with children, adolescents, and adults with various mental health problems, emotional, behavioral problems, and psychological distress and relationship problems. So let's just get right into our first questions.
Hi,
So,
thank you
Dr.
so much.
Archana,
Yes.
Dr. Archana, could you tell us what is screen dependency?
So I think, the best way we can understand screen dependency, that it's a modern age health challenge for children and adolescents of all age, and even for parents to some extent, is basically all about excessive usage of mobile phones and other gadgets such as iPad or other tablets, or even um, something like internet addiction, video game addiction, social media addiction, pornography addiction. All these things fall under the realms of screen dependency.
So, what are some of the major symptoms of screen dependency?
So the major symptoms can actually be understood as a major preoccupation with the internet. The child or the adolescent or even the adult, whosoever is doing it, we are referring to it, basically everybody here. Majorly about children and adolescents here. They are preoccupied with the internet, thinking about what they will be using and what they have been using on the internet. They need more and more time on the internet in order to feel satisfied, just like in addiction. And they probably have tried or have been forced to cut out, to stop or control this usage of the screen already, or of already the internet. But whenever they are trying to control the screen dependency or the screen usage, they become more restless, moody, or depressed.
How prevalent is screen dependency among children and adolescents?
All right. So, according to some research, some recent research, about 8 to 12% of children and adults in India already have screen dependency issues. And of course, this number is expected to rise in the coming years. And if I were to talk about my practice, I think out of every 10 people that I see, adolescents or adults, probably 4 or 5 would be having an issue with with the screen dependency. Of course, what I'm saying, what I'm quoting out of my own practice and my own experience, is not the norm. It's not a researched thing, but I'm just generally talking about what has been happening, particularly in post-pandemic times, in the lockdowns going on, and people have a legitimate reason to be on screen most of the times. So that does happen.
Could you
Yeah.
please share some tips to deal with screen dependency?
Yeah, so I think, first of all right, when people come to us for screen dependency management, they always, tell us that, oh, I want my child or I want myself to stop using screens, but I cannot stop using screens. Of course, none of us can stop using screens right now, because it's not only right now. I mean, even if pre-pandemic times, we can't really stop using screens altogether. So I think it's all about the healthy use of technology. That is what we have to really focus on. So we have to understand that basically all these screens, however bad they might be, they are they are they're very important in terms of the content that they expose us to. So a lot of content is actually educational and enriching. I mean, I'm sure you must have, what are we trying to do with this engagement right now? This is on screen, but this happens to be educational and informational in nature. So the idea is to engage in the good part, or in the preferred part of screens and internet and social media. That's very important, rather than completely stopping the use of screens. So and then completely taking away the screens from children and from adolescents is going to probably make them more distracted or even very unhappy. And So for, let's say, when we talk about screens, what is the good screen time versus good or healthy screen time versus um, not so healthy. So what can actually be healthy is, engaging in educational and enriching content, uh, in chatting or video chatting with people who with loved ones, basically, who are not with you. Playing educational games or reading are perfect, healthy screen options. uh, what we need to cut down on is social media usage and video games. Not, I'm not saying that all video games are bad, of course, but the violent video games have a far-reaching impact on our brains, and overuse of video games anyway have a far-reaching impact on the games. And I think, I cannot emphasize this enough, Anika, that it's very important that parents also reduce their screen time usage. Just because we assume that children and adolescents are always on phone, always playing games, and we are always on phone, not playing games, doing something which is worthwhile, talking to people who need a professional assistance or anything like that. This kind of distinction is not desirable. So we probably need to have screen free times with the family, with the entire family at one go. So I would basically, start by saying that for very small children, screen usage should be limited only to video chatting. By the children are 2 to 5 years, we can limit the screen usage to 1 hour per day or something. But the parents need to co-view the screen with with the child, and need to guide the children. So 1 hour with parental guidance. TV should not be, or the screens shouldn't be used as babysitters, basically. And then, why am I saying that we need to start at an early age, so that by the time the child grows up, we are able to differentiate between healthy screen time and not so healthy screen time. Also very important is to speak to your children about the social media, and have a friendly relationship with them, so that you know what are they viewing or posting. Some children end up accessing pornographic or sex chat rooms, and they even spot drugs through the internet these days. So don't really keep an eye on them, just be engaged with them, and try to know what are they doing.
So basically, what we get from that was we should try to limit our screen time to healthier options, and parents should also try to follow these rules to teach children the same thing.
Absolutely, yeah. Right.
Okay, thank you so much for all of your answers and helping educate people about the issue of screen dependency and how we can overcome it. We hope to interview you again later on different topics. Thank you so much.
Sure, Sean. Thank you so much. Bye, Anika. Bye, Tanishka. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, please like, subscribe, and hit the little bell icon to get a notification when we drop our next video.